This video is being pre-shot for publication on August 9th, 2025 at 8 a.m. Hi everybody. I thought to commemorate my Neil anniversary this year, I would tell you about a very dear friend that I met at that show. I think I have touched on her in years past, but her name was Kathy Popple. And we met her as we were going in to Starlight to take our seats. And she was somewhat of a amateur photographer, or a little better than an amateur. She was excellent. Anyway, she like many of the Rusties, was following Neil, was on tour with Neil, or following him around, or following the tour. And she, like I said, was at the Kansas City show, and we struck up a instant bond and friendship over our love of Neil. And actually, she was the one that kind of inaugurated me inaugurated me into the Rusty community. And I thank her profusely for that, because I've made so many great friends through the years, in Rusty's. And but our friendship wasn't just in passing, a one-time deal. We struck up a immediate friendship that lasted until her unfortunate passing, which I will get to in a minute. But she was a very, very, very special person, and she whenever Neil, or sometimes when he wouldn't release a record, I would call her every now and then. We'd talk Neil, and because sometimes she a lot of times she would be she every year she would go to the bridge school benefits and get backstage passes, because she would be in the pit, so to speak, taking pictures, so everybody knew her. And she would get backstage passes, and over the course of because she had been going to bridge for quite a number of years, and over the course of those years she got to know everybody, from Peggy to Benny and the whole gang. And one of the things that she would do every year for me, because of the fact that we couldn't fly to Mountain View, to Shoreline Amphitheater every year, which is where a bridge was held, one of the things she would do for me every year would be to get me that year's bridge school t-shirt, and I always looked forward to every year at bridge time because of that. That was a big thing for me because I always looked forward to seeing what that year's bridge school benefit shirt looked like. And I have several favorites of mine, you know, uh, in my shirt collection, but my particular favorite is, I think, I want to say 2014, because it has kind of like a pair of bird wings that almost kind of remind me of gilded, wings. It has that kind of gilded look to it, and that is probably my favorite bridge school benefit shirt. And she, I would say one of the last bridge school shows that she went to, that year she promised to try and call me from bridge so I could say hi to Neil Young on the phone, and she never she for reasons beyond her control couldn't make that happen. But that was one memory that I'll hold on to, that she at least tried to make that happen. And the one one of the things that I would that one of the things that she would also do for me was whenever she would be around, she would try and get me autographs, and she was successful on numerous occasions, and so I will always cherish those as well. And sorry, one of the last times that I got to see her, because she not only went to bridge every year or most years, but she also went to Farm Aid. And in 2011, or I can't remember, I think it was either 2010 or somewhere around 2010. I think Farm Aid was close by here. It wasn't here, I don't think, but it was close by here. She surprised me, and she came over, and we hung out. And actually, the picture that I'm gonna put in the video is a picture that was taken of us when she was over here right before Farm Aid. And she also brought one of the other rusties with her, and so I kind of got to know her too. And but one of the last times that I talked to Kathy before she died was really uncomfortable, or was kind of emotional, because she wasn't doing well, and you know, and I just want her to know, wherever she is, that I always think of her, especially when I'm jamming to Roll Another Number for the Road, because that is where her Rusty handle came from. See, in Rusty's, some of the members have Rusty handles having to do with Neil songs, and hers was from Roll Another Number for the Road, because Neil says, I want to see those hippie girls smile, and Kathy's nickname was Hippie Girl, or handle was Hippie Girl Smile. So every time I hear that line or sing it, I think of her, and I just want her to know that our friendship meant the world to me, and she opened a lot of doors for me that I would have probably remained closed had I not met her, and I just cherish our time together, and I miss her like crazy. And like I said, I thought rather than doing a review of something, to have something that has to do with Greendale, I would do this remembrance of her, and so I hope you enjoy it. This will be part of the Greendale review series, as well as the Artist Appreciation and Remembrance series. This video is dedicated to the memory of Kathy Popple.